Welcome. This is Callie Carroll, and you're listening to a special series where we're diving into Rhonda Byrne's book, The Magic, taking 28 days to have intentional gratitude to see how our lives can change. It is a part of Good Morning Sunshines where we wake up to see that perspective reveals miracles. And guys, I'm telling you, gratitude can change your world. Let's get started. Good morning, sunshines. Hello, hello. Welcome to our 19th day of our gratitude practice with Rhonda Byrne. And we have been devoting a little bit of each one of our days towards intentional gratitude, seeing how when we live in a space of gratitude, it brings a joyful heart. It attracts more happiness to our world, and we start to see this beautiful shift in what could become in your life. I've practiced this many, many times, and I continue to see amazing things show up in my world and the ability to handle adversity when adverse times come. And that's going to be applicable in today's practice, the magic footsteps. So we've spent time over the last 19 days, 18 days, giving gratitude for things in our past, for things in our present, for things in our future that we want to become. And now we're going to start talking about how we can really solidify that gratitude and use gratitude on a daily basis at the highest possible level. One of them being a practice of simply saying thank you 100 times in a day. When is the last time you feel like you actually said the words thank you 100 times in one day? Can you think of a day where that would have happened? I mean, like maybe there was, Christmas or a holiday or a baby shower and you said thank you 45 times, 100 times. There are 86,400 seconds every single day. 86,400 seconds. And it only takes a second to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's probably faster than a second, actually. That was pretty good, Cal. And when we recognize that we have the ability to create an internal shift by using those words, it's pretty impressive how we can start to better control our lives and our patterns and where we're going. So, you're going to do this whether you're having a challenging day or not, but then the practice is going to be supportive when you're having more challenging days in the future and when you just want like a mood boost. And it's going to be to take 100 steps and with each step, say the words thank you. Now, I've done this as diagnosed, just like that, where I go outside and I take a walk down the block and I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, with every step. I've had the opportunity to do that in the past. I have two little ones right now, and you want it to be a focused thank you if possible, because you want to be feeling it in your heart. And with the kids, maybe distracting or running around, if they're not in a stroller and you're trying to do all the different things, a thank you, thank you, thank you might be more challenging with them. I mean, if they're in the stroller, pretty simple, pretty easy. But now I see that sometimes I do this just throughout my house. So it's just a thank you, thank you. And maybe it's not necessarily with each cadence of a footstep, but it's while I'm putting the dishes away, or it's while I'm cleaning the floors or picking up toys or making my tea, using the words thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you choose to practice this, I'd love for you to try to acknowledge how you're feeling before you start. Just kind of do a little personal inventory. How's your heart feel? What's your joy level like? What's your energy like? And then go through your 100 thank yous. And at the end of it, see how you feel. Here's the other challenge that I found with this practice when I first started doing it. I was trying to count my thank yous. That was very distracting. It was very distracting. So then I'm just like, thank you, one, thank you, two. And now I'm just counting with the words thank you in between it. That really wasn't as supportive for me. So it's been beneficial for me not to have necessarily the number 100, even though that's the practice in the book. Instead, what I do is just use a timer. And that could be a 5-minute timer. That's going to be much more than 100. Or practice it like once and time yourself if you want, but that's not really the point, right? So setting a timer for 5 minutes while you're going through your life, you're doing some of the things you do. Maybe that is you're working in the kitchen, you're driving to the office, or you're walking to lunch during your workday. wherever you can find some time to be at peace with yourself. That's the thing, being at peace with yourself. And with that, saying thank you, thank you, thank you over and over and over again till eventually you're probably just like, oh my gosh. And what we're hoping occurs for you here is that you start to feel internally how that thank you shifts your heart space. And the more that you're doing it, I'm just going to use the example of you're in the kitchen because I feel like I'm in the flipping kitchen all the time, whether it's making something for the kids or putting the dishes away or cleaning the countertops or cleaning up after a craft we just did. I'm just in there a lot. So I imagine myself just moving around the kitchen. This would be a good example. Set my timer for 5 minutes. I'm doing my things, saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I'm going through and I'm doing these activities, my heart's going to start to fill up with thank yous for all of the things that I'm naturally doing. Like, thank you for this cup. Wow, this is amazing. I can put water in here. I could put soda in here. I could put juice in here. I could put coffee in here. It's absolutely extraordinary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I'm putting away the plates of all the functions of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As I open up the fridge and there's milk. Oh man, we're out of milk today. See, you guys reminded me I need to go get milk for the kids' chocolate lattes tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this clean floor that I'm standing on. Thank you for the laughter in the background of the kids playing downstairs. And it will connect you to that just feeling of gratitude for all of the things that you have around you. So today's pretty simple. It's pretty short because it doesn't take much more explaining on top of that. You're encouraged to, after this, and even if you guys haven't followed the other 18 days of the practice, I encourage you to, especially like if you might be in a quiet space right now, like you're driving or you're doing something because you're listening to this video, to just set a quick timer for 5 minutes, whether you're walking or not, and feel how you feel at first. Start saying thank you. When that timer goes off, feel how you feel at the end and see if there's a noticeable difference. Now, in the future, you can use this practice where you're like, kind of feel like I'm going to explode right now. I'm feeling pretty frustrated. I'm feeling pretty aggravated. I got some news I didn't want. My heart's feeling a certain way right now. And we're not pushing those emotions away. We're not saying you don't exist. Okay. I see you. You're there. I'm going to hug on you for a minute, 2 minutes, 5, whatever you want to do. Okay, I spent enough time in this anger. I've spent enough time in this worry. I've spent enough time in this sadness. I'm going to go out and I'm going to take my 100 steps, quote unquote, and say thank you for 5 minutes and see how I can make a shift in my day. I hope that you guys give this a shot in good spirits and in challenging times to see how it shows up in your world. And then we'll be moving on to our next magic practice. Again, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time for yourself and dedicating just a few minutes each day towards your happiness, your joy, and deciding to be a role model for those around you, whether it's your children or your spouse or your friends or your coworkers or your employees. You stepping into this role, you probably don't know it yet, but it's having a positive impact on everybody around you. Don't forget that perspective reveals miracles. And guys, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for joining. And don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.